Coming up on tonight's UAP News Show.
Lou versus Luna, the SCIF flu scuffle.
And NASA's administrator wants an alien briefing.
Hey there, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Allie. We are back at it again for another episode of UAP Society's weekly UAP News Show. I'm stoked to get started, so without further ado, Justin, say hey.
Hey there, cosmic enthusiasts. It's Justin here. Let's dive right in.
Alrighty, up first, Lou versus Luna, the SCIF flu scuffle. Say that 10 times freaking fast.
Right.
All right, crew, strap in because this week's UFO news has less to do with lights in the sky and more to do with sparks flying right here on Earth. What started as just another podcast appearance has snowballed into one of the biggest drama storms that we have seen in a really long time. Representative Anna Paulina Luna sat down on the Joe Rogan Experience and once again dropped that eyebrow-raising phrase, the infamous SCIF flu comment. Now, if you've got deja vu, it's because she said it back in May too, but at that time, nobody really cared.
Yeah.
This time, though, it must have hit different because Twitter exploded. The hashtag started flying, posts and replies were being made minute by the minute, and it basically turned into a full-on shit show.
Yeah, literally.
Like, literally. And let me tell you, this feels less like a congressional conversation and more like watching two kids fighting in the playground with a crowd of onlookers, all with their phones out, live streaming it onto some platform, and then, like, there's a teacher coming in trying to break it up. It's really that bad.
Yeah.
Hashtag world start. Now, normally we don't dive headfirst into drama. We try to like keep our eyes to the skies and stay out of it. But when the conversation gets this big and starts pulling in everyone from podcast hosts to politicians to disclosure advocates and even lawyers, we can't stay silent. All right, in the words of Julie Andrews from The Sound of Music, let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start because this story is freaking wild. It goes all over the place.
Yeah, right.
It does. Let's just start.
All right, so let's kick things off with the clip that lit the fuse. Anna Paulina Luna on the Joe Rogan podcast.
We've had our fill. Like, the one thing I wanted to do when I first got the task force is open up a SCIF to any person who held a clearance to come brief us on what they knew about UAPs. And I can tell you that we've now had
what was
the
the
SCIF
first conversation like when the door shuts and you're like, oh boy, I'm
well,
gonna
the
get
problem
the goods.
the problem is I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore. Okay, and they all got SCIF flu, and we call it SCIF flu, meaning like the day that the SCIF was open that we reserved it, we're like, we're here, like, come on, come brief us. They get sick or their dog dies.
And they didn't recover and come back?
They didn't recover, and then they just don't talk to us anymore. So
they ghost you?
They ghost us. Yeah, so I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to SCIF, then you're full of crap.
Or you're scared for your life because you're just a scientist who doesn't, maybe they got threatened. Maybe someone let them know that maybe someone hung something on their door in the middle of the night.
But if people say they're going to go tell us in a SCIF and then they don't show up, it's a problem, right?
Well,
so they've already gone public.
But maybe those people don't feel like the government's going to protect them.
That is one of the biggest things that we've had people bring up is that you're a whistleblower, but whistleblower protections only go so far, and you can't do anything for my physical safety. And some of them do allege that there's these actual physical concerns.
So, I feel like Joe Rogan made some really good points there, to be honest.
Okay.
And I feel like that there are legitimate concerns for their safety or well-being of whistleblowers.
Yeah.
I feel like we definitely need stronger protections.
Okay.
Especially, how do you protect somebody's physical, persons, right?
Without like hiring a bodyguard or like a detail for their house or whatever, Yeah.
It's very expensive and it's very hard for people to guarantee somebody's physical safety if they are a whistleblower.
Okay.
That is a legitimate concern, in my opinion, for why they would not want to go to a SCIF. But that being said, why tell them you're going to go in a SCIF and
then not show up? Okay, well, we're actually about to get into that because this whole messy exchange includes details like that.
Right. And, here's the kicker. Luna already used the term SCIF flu months ago during the UAP hearings. Nobody cared then, but now that little phrase struck a chord and was like kicking a hornet's nest. For context, let's rewind with an Ask a Poll refresher.
And now, here's our latest Ask a Poll exclusive from your U.S. Capitol. When do you think we'll get a UAP hearing?
We actually have none being noticed currently, so you guys will see all that information coming out.
What happened with this week's hearing?
Well, we have 2 SCIF briefings this week, and by the way, Melon got sick, Elizondo got sick.
Yeah.
And Mr. Grush also is not feeling well, but Grush has been very helpful.
Yeah.
So my message is, if we got the SCIF, you guys need to be here for the SCIF briefings.
Yep.
Thanks.
Awesome. Appreciate you, ma'am.
How many showed up?
We had 3 in there, but 3 of our main ones were sick. So we're going to get it back on the books and see if they show up. They had SCIF flu.
So that was back in May.
Yes.
Just to let everybody know, that was back in May.
That was back in May. And as I was listening to that, something came to my mind. Like,
Oh, what?
this whole origin of the SCIF flu was born in that moment when Matt Laszlo asked Luna what happened to the hearings.
Right.
Because Luna had hyped up these hearings so much so that she even made a timeline Twitter post about it. I remember because I used that picture for the thumbnail when we talked about it back in May. It was like literally a timeline. And she was like, this week we're going to do this week we're going to do that, and the last week of May we're going to have some hearings. But it turns out that, like, because the supposed time when the hearings were supposed to be happening, like, it was like we were approaching the date and everybody was like, okay, well, we don't have an official date yet, so what's going on?
Right.
And then it like, you know, come to find out, they were never actually scheduled. Luna never actually put the hearings on the books. And in that moment, when Matt Laszlo said, hey, what's up with the hearings? She totally said, skirt, and said, oh, SCIFs. People didn't show up. People got the SCIF flu. Like, she totally took that hearing question and left-turned it or right-turned it, just skirted out of the way, and made it about people not showing up for the SCIFs. And I don't think anybody's really been talking about that yet.
Right.
Because, like, whatever happened to those hearings that she hyped up so much? She never actually booked them. They never actually happened. And now we just find out that they're happening September 9th. But this was supposed to be going down back in May, and this whole SCIF flu thing was born out of her, I don't want to say effing up, but maybe effing up. And then to divert away from her F up, she was like, oh, SCIF flu, look over here. Look what they didn't do. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's a point that we have to make, because that's going to be relevant into all these other things that are transpiring in this snowball story we're talking about.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So what started as a quirky phrase has now turned into the spark that literally, like, lit Twitter on fire. Let's unpack how that all happened and how it all spiraled out from there. Okay, so in response to those comments that Luna made back in May, and now she's reiterating them back on the Joe Rogan show again, in response to all that, Lou Elizondo took to Twitter with this clapback tweet that says, after several visits to DC at the request of members of Congress at my own expense, and note that at my own expense thing, because that'll come up later in the show, we were given cancellations at the last minute. After coming back home again, I made it clear the last time that I had a pre-existing commitment. I was given 3 days notice and no guarantees while having committed to speaking in Oregon, publicly available. Luna knows the truth, and we have the emails to prove it. I will chalk this up to her not being informed by her staff and an innocent mistake, ... I hope. Otherwise, let this be a lesson to future whistleblowers who want congressional protections. This is all about media attention and less about truth. I hope this is not the case. And I suspect Chris Mellon and others at UAPDF that know the truth may have more to say about this. And then he proceeds to tag Chris Mellon, Joe Rogan, and Anna Paulina Luna. Okay. So the thing that has everybody stirred up about this particular tweet is that he provides a screenshot receipt of a message proving that the briefing was rescheduled at the last minute.
Okay.
The problem with this screenshot, though, is that he used a black highlighter to try to black out the people's names that were in that email thread. And with just like a really super quick adjustment to the brightness of the photo, you can see all these people's emails.
Right.
That's a big deal. I mean,
that's not a good look, to be honest. But
look at all. I mean, can you imagine how many emails all of those people woke up to the next day after he put that online?
Yeah, you know, to be honest, I haven't really heard any clapback from that yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. And I have a suspicion it's because some people were saying, well, oh, those are their government emails, so it's not really that big of a deal.
Okay.
But if you have somebody, again, of Lou Elizondo's stature and with all the experience that he has working in the government, how do you not properly black out all those emails? There was so many people's emails in there. So many people. And I don't even want to keep it on the screen that long because I don't want to contribute to those people being harassed. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he's a human being, right?
Yeah.
And he makes mistakes.
Sure.
A lot of people argue that the positions that he's held, the investigative positions that he is claimed to have held in the government, that he should be a much better investigator.
Okay.
I mean, those people, quite frankly, are not wrong.
Okay.
I mean, he's presented some things, that turned out to be, I mean, very easily explainable.
Series of unfortunate events, as I would like to explain them.
Right. So yeah, that kind of makes it hard. And then this kind of, just putting this tweet out there, trying to black everybody's email addresses out, but they're not actually blacked out. You could still read them.
Oh man.
I mean,
that was honestly the first thing I thought of.
It's another mistake.
The picture. I was like, oh, come on, really?
Right.
I mean, all I literally did was tilt my phone and I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Like, oh no.
Right.
Look at that, dude.
Right.
Okay. So, all right, let's recap what we've learned so far. Luna births the SCIF flu thing back in May when she was supposed to schedule hearings but didn't, and then diverted off of that question because she didn't want attention on it, I guess. And then she goes on Joe Rogan again recently, talks about it again, doesn't name names, but we all know who she's talking about. It's not that hard to figure out because we've all spoken about this already. Then Lou makes that tweet and basically says like, hey, I know you didn't say my name. However, like I have receipts to show that you rescheduled the shit at the last minute and I already had prior engagement. So sorry, but I couldn't be there kind of thing. Like, don't make it seem like it's on me because like I couldn't, just scheduling, whatever. We'll just chalk it up to scheduling, right? Okay. So not long after that, Anna Paulina Luna took to X and clapped back again with this tweet. A strange and frankly bizarre post from someone I didn't even name. Lou Elizondo, you have my number, yet you went on X instead of contacting me directly. We'd been coordinating with the same organization you were part of, only to learn after the UAPDF roundtable that you had left. Correct me if I'm wrong. Regardless, you could have still come to the SCIF at any time. As I told you, we'd work around your schedule. Let this be a lesson for all UAP whistleblowers. And see, this is where it gets a little bit sloppy. We have an open SCIF policy. If you have information to share, we will gladly host you. How Lou handled this wasn't just immature, it was odd, especially since I never even mentioned him by name. But we all know who you were talking about. The fact is, he never returned despite our willingness to host him. And yes, I'll still extend the invitation now. If you have anything, come in and brief us. We'll get in the SCIF. This is 100% on you. All caps, you.
Yeah. I mean, that escalated very quickly. Nothing like a good old-fashioned SCIF invite to settle things, right?
I mean, so, all right. So we got back and forth, tit for tat.
Yeah.
You, no, you, no, you. And now enter Eric Burleson, who tries to enter the scene as being the voice of reason and trying to level with everybody when he posted this tweet.
All right. You are both patriots who are passionate about serving our country. I'll take blame for this because the problem we are facing is that we are trying to align the stars and have everyone be in the SCIF briefing at the same time, which is clearly much more difficult than I thought, especially considering it is on the whistleblowers' dime, and many of them legitimately have service-related health issues to varying degrees. Lou Elizondo, that being said, if you wish to come in and do the briefing in the SCIF, we can work around your schedule. I am happy to talk offline about how we can make it work and further how we can make the experience for whistleblowers not as much of a sacrifice as it has been. Finally, someone trying to douse the fire instead of pour gas on it. So,
I mean, it's like he sees the two kids fighting and he's like holding them back by their heads, like trying to go, okay, settle down now. And then he even wants to take the blame himself. So it's like, A, he's separating them, and B, he's making it like his fault, which I don't even see how it is. But hey, you know what? Also, in the spirit of good faith, Matt Ford from the Good Trouble Show jumped in to add this tweet. I consider all of you patriots. Full stop. So it's always good to see someone trying to build a bridge instead of a wall.
Right, exactly. Next up, let's take a look at this post from Stephen Diener of UAP, Unidentified Alien Podcast, one that might help clear a few things up. He says, just had a very revealing call with a source in DC regarding details on the new upcoming UAP hearing and the SCIF flu scuffle taking place between Representative Luna and Lou Elizondo. This is important.
Hey guys, Stephen Diener here, UAP. Didn't expect to do a video here on a Saturday, but I just got done with a very revealing call with a source in DC, and here's what we covered. Two things. Number one, the new hearing, so details on that. Number two, the misunderstanding between Representative Anna Paulina Luna and Lou Elizondo that has kind of snowballed and taken on a life of its own, unfortunately. So I want to spread the word here from this word I just got during this conversation. Number one, the hearing, it's happening September 9th. This is what I was told, very reliable source. On September 9th, they will have the next UAP hearing. It's open to the public. It's going to run pretty much just like the other one ran last November. There's going to be 4 witnesses. That's the plan. At least 1 or 2 of these witnesses are first-hand witnesses. That's been the speculation. I know Eric Burleson had put it out there that that's what they wanted to try to get. I think he said it on my show. He said it in a couple of different interviews that he wanted to try to get first-hand witnesses for the next hearing. So it seems like that's going to happen. So I was told by my source that at least 1 or 2 of these 4 witnesses that are going to be testifying at the new hearing on September 9th are going to be first-hand witnesses. So that's going to be huge, to say the least. So looking forward to that. Again, open to the public, September 9th. Now, when it comes to the SCIF flu scuffle, I think is what I'm going to call it, between Anna Paulina Luna and Lou Elizondo. So obviously all the drama recently, Representative Luna is on Joe Rogan and she's talking about it there. Lou Elizondo didn't like what he heard. He's defending himself. Everybody's taking sides. So here's what I was told. It never needed to get to this far, is what I was told. That it all stemmed from a big misunderstanding. Everybody wants the same thing. I think that's the biggest message I got away from this conversation. Anna Paulina Luna and Lou Elizondo and everybody working on this in DC all have the same goal, which is to get answers, to get disclosure out to the American people. That is the goal. And unfortunately, what happens sometimes is there's kind of drama that gets mixed in the middle, and we lose sight of those goals and we get lost in the drama. And that's what's happened here. So the important message that I want to try to get across after the conversation I just had is that this really stems from a misunderstanding. David Grush, from what I was told, had a health issue a couple of days before the SCIF was supposed to take place in April. Everything was lined up. Lou was in town. He had other people there with him to do this. Obviously, Christopher Mellon was supposed to be part of it. As soon as David Grush had to back out due to health issues, not the flu, due to health issues, he was kind of the linchpin. He was the one holding this all together. He was one that was going to lead the conversation and really the driving force behind all of this inside the SCIF. Once he was out, everything kind of fell apart. And that's where I think a lot of people ended up getting angry at each other. Then Christopher Mellon ended up calling out sick, essentially, with the flu. He said he had the flu. Lou Elizondo never had the flu. Lou Elizondo was perfectly healthy. And then with the congressional members were left with Lou Elizondo and his team and anybody else that they were trying to bring in. But because it wasn't exactly what they were looking for, they decided to try to reschedule. That rescheduling led to scheduling conflicts on everybody's end, everybody involved, and it never materialized from there. And that's where you start to have this infighting and everybody taking sides. The bottom line is it didn't need to get here. That's the message that I was told. And now that I have the backstory to a lot of these things, after speaking to my source, it's very clear to me that there's just a lot of ill will that doesn't need to be there. Everybody has the same goal. Everyone wants the same thing. So I hope to see, my side is, I want everybody to get along. I hope to see Representative Luna and Lou Elizondo try to hash this out without any more escalation, because it doesn't need to be there. They both want the same thing like we all do, which is disclosure. So I hope to see you at the hearing September 9th. I hope to be able to be there in DC.
So that definitely adds another layer of clarity to the whole situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so here's what was confirmed. September 9th, date confirmed for the hearing. First-hand witnesses will be there. SCIF flu scuffle. It never needed to get this far, and it started from a misunderstanding. Okay. Which, I mean, I can see that. I mean, I can really see how that could play out. I just don't like the whole messiness of this playing out, on a very public space.
I agree with you, but unfortunately, it doesn't stop there, okay? Because this snowball is still flying down that hill and getting bigger, bigger, bigger as it goes, okay? Because after all of this, Anna Paulina Luna took to Twitter again and had this to say. I just talked to Comer regarding issuing subpoenas for certain individuals that developed SCIF flu or had other things come up when we asked them to come in to divulge information to Congress. What I love about this job is flushing out the truth tellers from those that are trying to sell books and potentially being disingenuous in an effort to undermine our investigations. See you in the SCIF. Dude, done. Okay, this girl is throwing shade all over the damn place, acting like we don't know who the F she is talking about. Right. Meanwhile, we all know exactly who she's talking about. It's like she's being so messy, acting like she's being so cutesy, but really it's like we all know what the heck she's doing. It's like, for anybody that has any sort of like finger on the pulse of this whole UFO story, I mean, I think they know what she's doing. And I think she knows what she's doing. Right. No, as a matter of fact, I know she knows what she's doing. Because she's like, oh, people sell the books. Like, who else are you talking about?
Right.
Anyways.
I mean, you don't want to piss off the person that has the power of subpoena, you don't.
I just really like these people are high up. We have a Congress member. We have somebody that used to be in charge of all these programs. And it's like they're supposed to be working together.
Right.
And here they are having this public spat that doesn't stop. It just keeps going. The tit for tat is it's like never ending so far. And it's crazy. And we're not even done yet because just for funsies, let's take a quick look at another clip from that JRE chat where Luna was talking with Joe Rogan about issuing subpoenas to people. This girl is not playing around. She's holding this subpoena hammer hard. Let's go. Let's check it out.
Okay.
This same individual, Neville Singham, actually, once we got this information, we sent a request to have him come testify to Congress. And he spends part of his year in Shanghai, China. And so we were not able to deliver him his subpoena, basically. And so there's a letter that Chairman Comer has now authorized to be sent that will go to the Treasury Department to freeze his assets unless he comes to testify to Congress.
Wow.
Okay, so she is not messing around at all. Freeze the guy's assets.
Now they're freezing people's money. That is
to come back to the United States and testify. Or go into a SCIF, and testify. Wow,
that is wild. I mean, do you think they can really do all that?
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah,
okay.
They can.
That's pretty serious.
People often forget how powerful our elected representatives are. They have the power of subpoena. And if they get people behind them, they can do exactly what she is doing.
Well, if they wield this subpoena sword as she is claiming in that clip, I mean, yowza.
Right.
Yowza.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm happy that they are going to these lengths to try to figure out what is going on. Because if she wasn't doing this and just brushing it off, it would be more the same that we've had for the last 70 years.
Okay, so do you think that Congress is taking this issue super seriously and wielding their powers in a, respectable manner?
I mean, kind of not really.
No hesitation?
Kind of not really.
No hesitation. Okay. All right. I asked you that because I have this really interesting tweet from Misselman, who just so happens to be a legitimate rocket scientist.
Yes.
Okay. And this is what he posted on Twitter that I want you guys to mentally munch on. Okay. He says, you know how you know these people aren't serious? They know the names of the program managers. They know the names of CIA, DS&T, and SAPCO directors who oversee the government's executions of the program. They know the name of the Eglin Air Force Base commander who refused to cooperate and walked off. They know the names of House leaders who apparently told DOD not to give them SAP access. They know the names of NRO officers who harassed David Grush. They know the names of DIA liaisons with Five Eye that coordinated international intelligence gathering of UAP. They know the names of corporate executives read into the corporate portfolio program. And she's posturing about subpoenaing Elizondo. Wonder whose side she's on.
That's a fair point.
That's why when I read that tweet, I was like, ooh, it's good mental munchkin candy. What are we going to do?
I mean, that's a fair point,
Yeah. And wait, I want to make another good point. Read this next tweet. Another interesting tweet that I wanted to highlight comes from Rob Heatherly on X, who says, Why does Congress need additional classified information when they haven't finished investigating the classified testimony of Grush plus 40 yet? Who has the legal teeth and intestinal fortitude to take up that torch again? They risk their lives trusting the whistleblower and IG system will do the right thing. It's failing them. Give David Grush the authority along with a capable team to follow through and finish what they started. So I feel that tweet as well, because it's like, how are you guys, sitting here making this big deal about people not showing up for a SCIF when David Grush gave you information about 40 plus whistleblowers, like how many years ago now, and they still haven't gotten David Grush in a SCIF because he still doesn't have the right clearances? Like, oh my gosh, like I feel this tweet because it's like, they're pushing for more information. Meanwhile, they haven't done anything with the stuff that they already have, that they do have already.
Well,
it's like,
so Eric Burleson did a 2-hour Twitter space the other night, and there was a lot of clarifying information that came out. And one of the questions asked, I believe, had to do with David Grush and his clearances.
Yeah.
And basically he said they are basically starting over because they removed David Grush's clearances, and he cannot go into a SCIF and tell what he knows legally unless he has those same clearances that he had before. But since he's working for a member of Congress, he is really only getting the clearances that a typical congressional staffer gets, which is only top secret. Not the special compartmentalized access that he needs.
Okay.
So that's been a big hurdle for them.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. And something that I want to mention just because I thought of it, and it's something that we said we would update you guys about if we ever got the information, and that is about David Grush's lawsuit. Basically, the whole thing was thrown out. They literally threw every single piece of it out, and nothing became of it because they dismissed everything. So I didn't have enough of, I didn't have enough to like make that its own story, so to speak, but I wanted to mention it now that I thought about it because I said I would, and I like to keep my word.
I was really surprised that it got thrown out. I mean, I thought for sure that he had a pretty solid case there.
Right. Well, I don't want to steer too far off the course of what we're talking about. But so yeah, Congress is asking for more people to come forward, but yet they've had people come forward and provide information, and they haven't done anything with that information. And then they have this whole kerfluffle going on Twitter, and it's like, what kind of message is that really going to be sending to people? Like, if there's whistleblowers waiting in the wings with their story ready to come out, do you think that this like whole kerfluffle on Twitter is going to be a welcoming, inviting environment? They're going to be like, oh yeah, now's a great time for me to share my story, when everybody's at each other's throats and pointing fingers and throwing slashes around and doing all this other stuff. And it's just like, I feel like they're not producing a conducive whistleblower friendly environment. Okay. And then on top of it, it's like Lou Elizondo said, he's traveling to these meetings at his own expense. So he has to take money out of his own pocket to travel and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I feel like if you're asking these people to do those things, you should be providing traveling for them. So we have lack of whistleblower protection and lack of whistleblower funding.
Yeah. I don't know. I have an issue with that, to be honest, with why is he paying for his own way to go to DC every time?
I don't know. Is that just how it is? Is that how everybody has to do it? I have no idea.
One of his good friends, his buddy in this whole disclosure, movement is Christopher Mellon.
Okay.
Who is one of the world's richest people.
What does that have to do with him getting to see Congress? Does that mean Mellon has to pay for everybody to go talk to Congress?
Yeah, why not?
Look at you spending Mellon's money.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
I mean, the one thing that man has plenty of is money.
Spend somebody else's money like that. Oh my God.
I mean, hey, look, if I was that rich,
why do you think So's doing it then?
Well, because he's not passionate about this topic.
Okay.
If I was that rich and I was as passionate as Mellon seems to be, I would remove every single hurdle in front of somebody's path to be able to go testify or go into a SCIF.
Okay.
Why is he not doing that? I mean, is he doing that? And we just don't know about it now.
I never even thought of that.
I don't know.
So this is all new stuff for me to think about.
The Mellons, the family is so rich.
Wow.
I mean, they're like the Rockefellers and the Bilderbergs, and
shoot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, their family owns.
So you're saying
banks.
they could chip off a little piece of that block that they got sitting in their bank account and like make all of these
Christopher Mellon
these issues go away.
Exactly. And it
Well,
like
if that's
that.
the case, why isn't
Like
he
that.
also funding the Age of Disclosure that still does not have a release date because
That's a
it's
good
out there
question.
flying around looking for people to pick up the project?
That's a very good question.
I like to come up with those.
Yeah, I mean, why? Why is he not?
I like that we're talking about this though, because we mentioned all this underfunding that's going on, right? But I feel like in an effort to like come to the rescue, Michael Herrera,
Right? Of all people, I mean, yeah.
Of all people took to Twitter with this. Hey everyone, since we've had trouble with whistleblowers getting funding for losing clearances, which makes them lose income, travel expenses, and even hefty legal fees, etc., a few of us put our heads together to make a product that everyone can enjoy. If you want to help, we'd appreciate it. Check out beyondblackcoffee.com. Proceeds will go to whistleblowers and build support for those stuck on the other side and to those who need assistance. Soon we will also be looking to raise funds for first responders as well. I love that because now you can get your caffeine fix and support whistleblowers at the same time. Double win. Right. Winning. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, out of all the stuff that we're talking about, I mean, that was like pretty cool.
But man, why doesn't I'm hung up on this.
I'm still hung up on you spending Melon's money like that. I like that.
Why is he not?
It's a really good question. Like,
why is he not helping? I mean, honestly, he could pay for all the whistleblowers' yearly salary for the rest of their lives.
He's got it like that.
Yes, he's got it like that. And I mean, he could literally pay for these people's salaries for the rest of their lives and everything else that's going on with disclosure, and he wouldn't even notice the money being gone.
Dang.
He is that wealthy.
I don't know how to like pretend like I know what that's like because I have no clue what that's like. I led an opposite life.
I remember seeing or watching an interview with, I believe it might have been his cousin or his brother or somebody else in the family talking about Chris Mellon being involved with the government and with this UAP issue. And somebody brought up, is he in this UAP issue to try to make more money, to try to profit off of it somehow? And his cousin said, no, he doesn't need any more damn money. That's like the last thing that he needs more of.
But not only that, where the hell is there money to be made in this community anyways?
There's a lot of, well, maybe not in the community, but in,
you're talking about in research and development?
In research and development and material science. And, so there's corporations that are looking to invest. So yeah, I mean that's the whole reason behind SALT. The SALT conference, right, was to get investors, people that have a lot of money, to get them up to speed and to get them to invest their money into some of these projects. All right, so yeah, I mean, I think Chris Mellon could definitely help his friend out, and remove any sort of perceived obstacles or barricades, with having to pay his own way.
Well, maybe you should write him a letter and be like, yo, bro, why don't you spend some of that cash you've been sitting on with your fat ass pockets and they'll make some of this stuff happen a little bit quicker.
Yeah, my letter wouldn't even get opened.
Right.
I'm not going to waste my time, but I'll get off my soapbox. But yeah, I think Chris could definitely help a lot more.
Okay. Before we wrap up this story, though, there's one more thing that we wanted you to hear. As we mentioned earlier in the story, last night on X, user Tupacabra hosted a 3-hour Twitter space. And here's what made it so special. Congressman Eric Burleson himself was in the audience. Now, at first, he was just quietly sitting back, just kind of listening to everything. He was like anonymous at a couple points, but eventually he was invited up to speak. And when he did, he spilled some serious tea. Burleson opened up about the upcoming hearings, giving us a preview of who we might hear from and what to expect. He also talked about a whole lot of other things. This was literally, like I said, a 3-hour space, so I recommend going and listening to the whole thing because there's a lot of other cool stuff in there. But anyways, let's focus on what we're trying to talk about.
It was very illuminating.
It was very, very illuminating. And I want to give you guys a clip of what he was talking about in reference to the upcoming hearing. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Patrick over at Vetted for capturing this clip.
So, to give you an idea who we've got, one individual is a former U.S. Air Force veteran who is going to speak to 5 UAP incidents during his time that he witnessed and that he investigated. You've got another individual who is a Navy officer who witnessed UAP events firsthand. And and then another U.S. Air Force officer who has witnessed firsthand events. So we've got, and I'm not going to give their names, but those are the individuals that we've been working on. We often have people trying to get, that have already come out publicly, and I think that a lot of people some people want those, but I think that what's better is if we bring forward some new perspectives and people that that have not come forward until this moment, some fresh witnesses. So that's kind of what we're working on.
Got it. And then the date, is that official or not? September 9th?
Right now, that is the date, September 9th.
Okay, so what we said last week, September 9th, has been confirmed by Eric Burleson.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool.
All right, so there you have it. He basically just said that there's going to be 3 different witnesses. A former United States Air Force person who's going to talk about 5 UAP incidents, a Navy officer who witnessed UAP events firsthand, and another Air Force veteran who witnessed a UAP firsthand.
Hey, people wanted firsthand witnesses, and looks like we're about to get them.
Yeah,
looks like we're about to get them.
And
go ahead.
I'm happy that it's nobody that we've heard from before, or that we know of yet.
I mean, we're looking forward to maybe potentially Bob Lazar, but it is cool that we're getting first-hand military witnesses, because I mean, this is literally what everybody's been dying for, is first-hand witnesses.
Yeah.
When we had the last hearings, everybody was not happy about the fact that there were no first-hand witnesses. So this seems to have a different vibe about it, which I think is great.
Wouldn't that be cool if Bob Lazar did show up?
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be pretty cool.
I mean, so there you have it. What started as a swirl of drama ended up pulling in whistleblowers, journalists, podcasters, and even members of Congress. And if nothing else, this whole saga proves one thing. The conversation about UAPs is only getting louder, and the people are demanding answers and not backing down anytime soon. We've seen some crazy things in this whole kerfluffle debacle type thing. I mean, there's so many things being said. Lou Elizondo's lawyer is going off the freaking chain, saying some crazy ass stuff. I literally saw what he was talking about and what he was tweeting, and I said, nope, not today. I literally backed away from the computer in an instinctual reaction, and I was like, whoa, not touching that with a 10-foot pole and blaming it on him. No. We're just gonna glance right over that. But there are so many other side conversations that are happening in response to all of this stuff. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I hope it gets, I hope the dust settles soon and everybody, starts being nice to each other again. And
I truly wish that we could find some common ground,
that would be nice, and
come together. Because I truly think that we are stronger together. We're definitely stronger together. And, I don't really like to see all this infighting. Because it's the PSYOP is working when everybody is fighting each other and talking about each other instead of looking up and trying to study what's actually happening out there.
And that's true on multi levels also, because it's not just people in Congress that are infighting, but it's also content creators are also being pitted against each other and fighting. And it's we're all, what's so crazy about the drama that occurs in the UFO community is that ultimately at the end of the fucking day, we all just want to know what the hell's going on. Exactly. And it's that's literally what's driving every single person in this field, is that we all just want to know what's really real, what's really good, what's going on. Are we alone? Are we not alone? Is this situation made up? Is it all a psyop? Ultimately, WTF. Right. And it's but then in the process of that, it's we're all crabs in a bucket, turning on each other and dragging each other. It's just, let's have a kumbaya moment. I'm that hippie peace love, peace love, unity, respect girl, plur all day, #plur. Yes. All right. Enough of that. Do you guys think that this feud helps or hurts disclosure?
I think it hurts.
Okay. Should UFO advocates be airing their fights like this in public or keeping it behind closed doors? Do you think this drama distracts from the real conversation? Sound off in the comment section below and let us know.
All right, up next, NASA's administrator wants an alien briefing. Big news from NASA. Acting Administrator Sean Duffy just confirmed he's asked for what's being called the alien briefing. I mean, you can't make that up. He hasn't seen it yet, but he says it's coming, and that decisions will need to be made about what the public actually gets to know. Are we on the edge of a new UFO disclosure era? Let's break it down and talk about what this could mean for all of us.
All right, to kick us off, a tweet from UAP James says, NASA Administrator Sean Duffy says he has requested the alien briefing. Quote, I just want to be really clear. I haven't had the alien briefing yet, but I've asked for it, end quote. Duffy says, quote, decisions have to be made, end quote, on what information is released to the public. Let's take a listen to that embedded video now.
Tulsi Gabbard this week talked about the fact that aliens could be real and she might want to declassify a few things. Now, all I can tell you is what I know, Duffy. We know the drones are not from New Jersey because they've been using their blinkers. Now what?
Well, first off, Jimmy, saw the drones. The drones are real, right? I don't think we had the accoutrements in position to actually see what that was. But
okay.
I would say what? I just want to be really clear. I haven't had the alien briefing yet, but I've asked for it.
Okay.
So I can't comment on it, and I can't wait to come back and talk about the highly classified information on your show. I'm going to get in this briefing. And by the way, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. But actually, you know what I do? I mean, I think we're in a space right now in America that we want transparency. I mean, people do, you know, and there's decisions that have to be made, but as much as if feasibly possible, we want to share as much information with the American people.
Tulsi Gabbard this week talked about the fact that aliens could be real and she might want to declassify a few things. Now, all I can tell you is what I know, Duffy.
So he basically just reiterated my point that we just all want to know, like, what's actually going on. He said we all want to know, we all want transparency, which is basically the same thing I was trying to say just a second ago.
I thought it was extremely funny, you know, especially the drone comment, because they're using their blinkers. So they're definitely not from New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey, so I'm highly offended. I'm kidding. I grew up in Florida, and let me think
about Jersey now. We're gonna have a whole different show, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah. You know, no, I thought what he said was very interesting. He's definitely not going to come back and tell everybody exactly what he was told during the classified briefing. He can't. That would be illegal. He would go to jail.
Yeah.
You know, but
it'd be cool if it got leaked somehow. Though. Just saying.
I doubt it.
Just saying.
I doubt it. I mean, yeah, I would love to be a fly on the wall during that briefing, to be honest. You know,
same.
But yeah, so it's interesting that he has requested the quote unquote alien briefing. To me, it means that he, in his own mind, he thoroughly believes that there is something to all of this. You know, and right, and he saw the drones. The drones are real. Okay, you know.
And that the drone thing is still ongoing too. We keep mentioning that because that hasn't been like rectified or pacified yet either. That's still like up in the air.
Right. They still haven't come out and told us exactly what it was. I don't know that they ever will, to be honest, at this point, even though President Trump said he was going to, but he didn't. Anyway. And in reply to that tweet, Representative Tim Burchett said, good, now give it to the rest of America. You know, and he was talking about the briefing. Right.
All right. Now let's talk a little bit about NASA's historic engagement with UFOs and UAPs, but specifically about astronaut sightings.
Ooh.
In the not so distant past, astronauts have reported sightings of unidentified objects during their space missions. For example, back in 2015, astronaut Scott Kelly aboard the International Space Station shared a photo that sparked UFO speculation due to a glowing object in the upper right-hand corner. UFO enthusiast Scott C. Waring claimed it was an alien spaceship about 25 meters long. That tweet says, Day 233, once upon a star over southern India. Good night from the space station, #year in space. Now let's take a closer look at that picture. I want you to see this and I want to know what your thoughts of this picture are.
Okay.
This is the picture. And this is the thing in the upper right-hand corner that everybody was speculating and somebody said was a UFO or spacecraft.
Okay. I have thoughts.
Okay, care to verbally express them? Or do you expect people to telepathically reach your mind through the microphone?
No. All right. Well, to me, I'm sorry, everybody, but I hate to burst your bubble, but that honestly looks like a reflection in the glass of some panels that are above his head.
Okay, now were you previously aware of this picture right before I just showed it to you just now?
No.
Okay.
That was the first time I've seen that picture.
Okay.
So that's honestly my first thought, is that light looks like a reflection.
Okay, well, guess what?
What?
You're correct.
Okay.
Okay. Because according to this tweet from Olivia De Souza on X, who comes with receipts, she says, the white bright part at the upper right corner of the image is ISS HDEV exterior equipment.
Mm.
And then let me show you the pictures of that.
Okay.
Okay, so she's saying it's this equipment right here. It is HDEV. I don't remember what that stands for, but basically it's just a reflection. View of the high definition. Oh, that's what it stands for. High definition Earth viewing equipment installed on the exterior of the International Space Station's Columbus Laboratory. Mm-hmm. The cameras are enclosed in a temperature specific housing and are exposed to the harsh radiation of space.
Okay.
So, okay. But Scott Kelly saw something, he posted a picture. People thought it might be a UFO. It was quickly debunked, but that's okay because at least these space guys are talking about this stuff, right? Okay. And then more recently, Disclosure Party made an interesting post saying this. Former NASA astronaut Jerry Leininger openly admitted seeing UFOs while orbiting Earth and stated, quote, he saw things in the true sense of the word, unidentified flying objects, end quote, including unknown metallic objects that he believed were not satellites.
I'm going to stick my neck out about how many people think I saw a UFO when I was up there. And I did. I mean, I saw things in the true sense of the word, unidentified flying objects. Don't take me out of context with that first quote. I had no aliens knocking, but, I saw stuff where I'd call my crewmates over, Stroetta, what the heck is that? And we'd look, and sometimes it was metallic, and it was, looked like a spoon, if you will, off in the distance. And the problem in space, good luck figuring out if it's a really small object close by, something that floated out of the airlock like a spoon, or is it something 100,000 miles away that's the size of a big spacecraft? And it's very hard to distinguish that. Usually it was, something you could kind of explain, probably an ice chunk off the external tank or something like that. But you'd see things, as you're saying, Nicole, that, you go, wow, that's cool. I don't know what that was exactly, but it's not a satellite because it's, doing something different. And it's pretty cool to see something like that.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. We also need to bring up the fact that there are astronauts that were a part of the Apollo program that went to the moon, and have said that they were accompanied to the moon.
Oh, that's right. That they were being like
monitored or watched.
Chaperoned is the word I was trying to think of. Yeah. Chaperoned on their trip.
Yeah, even when they landed on the surface and walked around, and they said that they were definitely being watched.
Well,
so that's super interesting. I mean, why would astronauts, make that up?
I don't think
if
they
that
are
were not the case. I don't think they're making it up either. I'm just saying that, a lot of people think that, oh, that's not real. It's not true. They didn't know what they were looking at. I mean, they were astronauts. Mm-hmm. I mean, if anybody should know what they're looking at in space, I would think it would be them. Okay. Highly trained people, pilots in some cases. I mean, extremely smart individuals. I don't understand how they would be able to make that up. They have very distinguished careers. Why would they come out with a lie as bizarre as that if it were not true?
Okay.
And to me, that's that gives it a lot of weight.
Okay, a lot of credibility for you.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they see stuff up there like way more often than they talk about it. Mm-hmm. Like they probably see stuff all of the time. But I mean, whether or not they're going to divulge that information or share about it or anything, I mean, that's to be seen. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And just think about all the things that Buzz Aldrin has said.
Like what?
He's basically come out and said yes, that he's one of the ones that says that they were being monitored when they went to the moon. Okay, but in more recent years, I would say within the last 20 years, he's gone on different news shows and has brought up the fact that there's objects on one of the moons of Mars. And he said when people find out about that object, they're going to ask who put that there. You know, I mean, he said that.
You're going to have to find me a clip so I can edit that in post.
I will.
Okay, good.
I will. But why would he make that up? You know, why come out and risk your reputation to say that if it's not true? If you did not believe 100% that it was true.
Great question.
You know,
Great question.
He's not crazy. He's not somebody that has some form of psychosis. You know, I mean, he's a very intelligent individual. He's a doctor. Yeah, he has a doctorate degree. Anyway. All right.
Well, I mean, I wonder how all this is going to play out. I mean, do you guys think that the NASA administrator, Sean Duffy, is ready to receive an alien briefing? Why or why not? Do you trust NASA to share this info responsibly with the public? And do you believe NASA already knows more than they're telling us? Make sure to go to the Leo Files Discord server and share your thoughts with the community there. An invite link can be found in the video description box below, along with all of the other sources in the show in the order that they appear. So make sure to check that out.
And that concludes this week's UAP Society's UAP UFO News Show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And while you're here, do us a favor and smash that like button, click subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave us a lovely comment down below, and share this video with your family and friends to help us spread the good word.
Let's raise the collective consciousness together in unity. All right. Much love, peace, and namaste.
Spaceship.